You know, the world has a funny way of making you think you're in control, like you have a say in how things play out. It tricks you into believing that your choices are truly yours. But let's be honest, they're not. Most people, hell, all people, are just puppets with strings they can't even see. They walk around thinking they're free, when, in reality, they're just reacting, dancing to a tune someone else is playing. And you're no different. Not yet, at least. Every day you wake up, follow a routine, chase dreams that aren't even yours, all because someone told you that's what you're supposed to do. From the moment you were born, society shoved ideas into your head, made you feel things you never questioned: fear, guilt, shame. These emotions became invisible chains, keeping you tethered to their system, and you call it life. But here's the question: what happens when you cut those strings? When you stop playing by their rules, they'll call you crazy. They'll label you dangerous. Why? Because a mind they can't manipulate, that's the one thing they fear the most. When you step outside their box, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability, that's power. Power isn't money, muscles, guns, or some title people bow down to. Real power is when no one can control how you think. Ever noticed how people follow trends without questioning them? One person does something, and suddenly everyone jumps on board. No proof, no thought, just blind obedience like trained animals. But you're going to be different. You're going to think. Because the second you start thinking for yourself, you become untouchable. Let me give you an example. Imagine walking down a dark alley and someone jumps out with a knife. Your first reaction is fear, right? Panic sets in. Your mind goes blank because fear shuts you down. But what if, just what if, you trained yourself to think differently? Instead of reacting out of fear, what if your mind saw opportunity, saw weakness in your attacker? In that moment, you'd shift from being prey to becoming the predator. Life is a jungle, after all. You either think or you get hunted. Choosing to think for yourself comes at a cost. It's the loneliest road you'll ever walk. The moment you step away from the herd turns against you. Friends disappear, family misunderstands, and society labels you arrogant, stubborn, or even evil. People hate what they can't control. But listen carefully. You have one life, one shot. Are you really going to waste it being a puppet, living a life that isn't even yours? Or are you going to wake up and start using the only weapon that truly matters, your mind? Think about it. If they can control how you feel, they can control what you do. If they control what you do, they control who you become. And if they control who you become, then tell me, who the hell are you, really? Life will test you. People will betray you, hurt you, abandon you. That's guaranteed. But what separates the strong from the weak isn't avoiding pain. It's learning to control it. Most people break because they've never trained their minds to handle suffering. They let pain destroy them. Instead, take that pain and forge it into something unbreakable. A mind sharper than any blade, stronger than any fist. When they come for you, and they will, you won't break. You won't bend. You won't fall in line. Why? Because you'll know the truth. The strongest weapon isn't a gun, an army, or money. It's a mind they can't manipulate. Ever wonder why people follow orders without question? Why they believe what they're told, even when it doesn't make sense? It's because they've been programmed since birth. Schools don't teach you to think. They teach you to repeat, memorize, and obey. They don't want individuals. They want machines. Predictable, docile, easily controlled. And when someone dares to question the system, they're labeled troublemakers, rebels, outcasts. They isolate you, make you feel wrong for refusing to follow blindly. Most people give in because humans are weak creatures. They'd rather belong to the herd than stand alone. But not you. You're not going to be another sheep in the flock. You're going to be the wolf watching from the shadows. Once you see the strings, you can cut them, and that terrifies them. A free man doesn't need validation. He doesn't bow to society's expectations or care about being liked. And people can't stand that. They need you to be dependent, because as long as you need something from them, they have power over you. But the moment you stop caring, the moment you become self-sufficient, you become something else entirely. Something terrifying, something untouchable. Your biggest enemy isn't out there. It's the voice in your head telling you to give up, to fit in, to seek approval. Until you kill that weakness, until you erase that fear, you'll never be free. The strongest chains are the ones you put on yourself. Look around at the people who hurt you, the ones who lied, abandoned, or betrayed you. Do you think they stay up at night feeling guilty? Number. They sleep just fine. They move on. If you're still waiting for justice, you're a fool. Justice is a myth. There's no cosmic force punishing them for what they did. The only justice that exists is the one you create. So, what are you going to do? Sit there, broken, waiting for the world to fix things? Or are you going to take control? Here's a secret. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to make things fair. You either stand up, sharpen your mind, and become something they can't break, or you stay down and let them walk all over you. Strength isn't in your fists or words. True power lies in your silence, in the ability to walk away, to let go, to never need anyone or anything outside yourself. The second you need, you're weak. And weakness gets eaten alive in this world. You'll face betrayal, abandonment, and tests beyond imagination. But if your mind is strong, if your thoughts are sharp, controlled, and unshaken, it won't matter. Pain can only destroy a man who lets it. Let them mock you, try to pull you back into their pit of mediocrity. Smile, because they have no idea who they're dealing with. They have no idea that the person standing before them isn't ruled by emotions, fear, or the need to be accepted. He's something else entirely. He's free. When you become untouchable, you lose people. Friends vanish, lovers turn cold, family shakes their heads in disappointment. You'll stand there alone, wondering if maybe they were right. But listen carefully. They're not right. They're weak. And the weak cannot understand the strong. They mistake your silence for arrogance, your detachment for cruelty, your self-control for emptiness. But you don't care. You've stepped outside the illusion, and once you see the truth, there's no going back. In the end, while they're busy talking, scheming, and wasting their lives chasing meaningless things, you'll be untouchable. When they look into your eyes, searching for the man you used to be, they'll find nothing. That man died the moment he realized his greatest weapon was a mind they could never manipulate. And in that silence, in that unwavering stillness, they'll finally understand. You're not like them anymore. You're something greater, a force, a storm without mercy, a soul that has severed every chain it was ever given. And they will fear you, not because you're cruel or violent, but because you're free. People don't fear power, strength, or status. What they truly fear is someone who doesn't need them, because the entire world is built on dependency. But when you step outside that system, when you become a man who needs nothing, you become unstoppable.